Well, less money for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and more funding for community services. That's the call from a Jacksonville group that's not pleased with the budget proposals right now. On your side's David Jones is live downtown in Jacksonville breaking down the group's demands tonight. David?
During this nationwide discussion about defunding the police, this is the first time that we've actually seen a local group here in Jacksonville put a percentage on the amount that they want to see cut out of law enforcement's budget. I spoke with the president of the Northside Coalition about where they want to see that money go, along with the local police union.
The sheriff should not get $500 million and give us the kind of results that he's giving us.
Ben Frazier of the Northside Coalition calling on the mayor and city council to cut the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office budget by about a quarter.
What we're talking about is redirecting funds, reallocating funds, not getting rid of the police department. The bottom line is that we want to reinvest these monies.
Right now, JSO's budget sits at around $481 million. That's broken up into these different departments. Meanwhile, the sheriff is asking for a $6.2 million increase in the next fiscal year. The biggest part of that going to the areas of patrol and enforcement, along with investigations and homeland security. A 25% reduction in JSO's budget, as Frazier is calling for, would amount to around $120 million. Money Frazier says his group would like to see reinvested in social services, housing, and education.
We need to use some of that money for new schools, good paying jobs. We need someone to pay the Northside residents for all the broken promises of consolidation and all the infrastructure that consolidation promised them more than 50 years ago.
You could properly fund law enforcement here in Jacksonville, and you could also properly fund to address the issues here in Jacksonville, whether it's poverty, whether it's education, whether it's infrastructure. They're not mutually exclusive.
Steve Zona is president of Jacksonville's local police union.
Here in Jacksonville, if we're going to do anything, you need to increase the budget. You need to hire more police officers. You need to have more police officers available to spend a good portion of their time for training that the public seems to want and that we accept. I mean, training is a good thing for all of us. I mean, how do they think that's going to get done if you defund the police department?
In a statement, Sheriff Mike Williams saying any defunding efforts would be a terrible policy to implement. As it is, the agency is working with an extremely lean budget, including the recent proposed budget for next year that reflected a mere 0.45% increase comprised on state-mandated personnel fees and expenses. I also spoke with our crime and safety expert, Mark Bachman. He said something else to keep in mind in this discussion is the RNC coming up in August. We can expect to see, he says, an infusion of federal money going toward law enforcement, but that wouldn't come until the back end of that event. Just something to keep in mind. We're live in Jacksonville. David Jones, First Coast News, on your side.